What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Robin Shockley, with Focus 4 with Robin on the go. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm here in Greenville, South Carolina, on behalf of the TPN, the Producers Network, and I'm here to do an exclusive interview with TherealRobbie Luca.
What's up?
Yes, I'm
What's
so glad
going
to
on?
have you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for interviewing me.
Absolutely. I just met you today, but I've been hearing amazing things from you from your manager, KL Management. Yeah, KL Management.
Shout out to Keith Lewis, KL Management.
Yes.
You're doing a great job.
Yes. So let's talk about who Robbie Luca, TherealRobbie Luca, is today.
Okay, well, Robbie Luca, I am from Greenville, South Carolina. I am a songwriter, producer, artist. Just released a song, Smile, in January, and just released Amazing maybe last week. I have been through a lot in life, and just a person that wants to use my life as a testimony, and God has kept me thus far, and so that's why it's Luca. It's L-U-C-A, Living Under Christ Anointing.
Okay, so that's not your last name.
That's not my last name. It's an acronym for Living Under Christ Anointing.
Luca. I love that. So where did that come from?
You know what? Originally, Luca really means the bringer of light is what it means in that, and so I just used it as an acronym. I'm living under Christ Anointing. I just thought it was dope, so I used it. It
is. So did you come up with that yourself?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So how old were you when this started transforming as far as your music career?
Oh wait, really back in 8th grade. I started. I was in. I don't know if you remember Phyllis Wheatley Repertory Theater.
Oh yes.
So I started out in Phyllis Wheatley Repertory Theater. Dwight Woods was a mentor, got arrested. So taught a lot of us around here. I think you mentioned Pat Styles earlier. He was in there with us and everything. So that's where my music started, writing songs.
In 8th grade?
Oh yeah, Mr. Woods, he asked me to write a song because he saw that I had some type of potential. Okay. So he gave me the opportunity to write a song for a Black History play. And so I wrote a song about Martin Luther King, which working on now, 2022, be looking for that.
So wait, let's back it up a minute. So how did you even get connected to Phyllis Wheatley? How did you even get connected to that?
Well, I went to Beck Middle School. Okay. And back then, Phyllis Wheatley, Beck Middle School was right in front of Phyllis Wheatley. Okay. And so they did an advertisement at the time, a flyer or something like that about repertory theater. And so I went to try out.
Okay. So who was the reason why I'm trying to get to the root of it. So who was your influence to get you there?
My mama.
Your mama. Okay. Shouts out to mama.
Shout out to mama.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. So I guess your mother saw potential in you, and she wanted you to become something.
Yeah, but we was bad, so we had to find something to do. She had to find something.
So when you say you was bad, what does that mean?
We wasn't bad as in real bad. I guess we had creative imaginations. Okay. And so that would get us into different little things when we was that age. You know, I don't mind the devil workshop, so we had to. Mama had to find stuff for us to do besides football. Yeah. You know.
Now, you have siblings?
I do have siblings. I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Will Burgess and Pastor Ernest Burgess. Okay. My older brother's a pastor down at White Plains Baptist Church in Greenville.
Okay, yeah. I think I've not known him or met him or heard his name. I've been to White Plains doing some community service with my friend Mata Crawford.
Okay.
I've been there. Yeah. Yes, I've been to that church before.
Yeah. Yes. My little brother Will is the minister of music at Long Branch Baptist Church.
Oh yes, Pastor Dogan. Yes, love him.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Yeah. So I grew up in.
So we've never met. It's like we know the same circle of people.
I know it's crazy.
Wow. And I've been hearing that you are pretty amazing in your music. I was listening to it this morning.
Oh man.
And it was on fire. Very inspirational. Very inspirational.
Glory to God for all that. Because,
yes.
I take no credit for everything God has enabled me to do, all the songs and stuff like that. It's just God.
Amen. Okay, so you started going to Phyllis Wheatley and you wrote the song for the play. Yeah. And then that was something that was like, okay, there's something inside of me. There is potential inside of me. I do have a creative side.
Oh yeah.
So did you sing at that time too, or was you just writing?
No, in order to be in repertory, you had to be able to sing and dance and all at the same time. Okay. And stage presence and everything like that. So I did sing, but my development came when I started writing. Came production, playing and doing tracks for people, and it just over the years, I've been able to do tracks and work with a lot of different people, and led me here today.
Okay, so when that was in middle school, and then you go into high school and everything and stuff. So you're a young boy at this time and stuff, and so you're being influenced and stuff. Have you always dealt with gospel music?
Oh no, no. My first group was an R&B group called Public Demand. I don't know if you know Randy Edmonds. Eric Glenn, God rest his soul, Brad Smith was in that group with us. But I mean, over the years, I've R&B, gospel. There's a group from Easley named 3 and 20. They're country rap. Work with them. It's just been any genre of music that just came my way. I pretty much tried to do it.
Oh, okay. So you got out there and you just started getting your feel for it, but you just said the key word, producer.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't just write music, you don't just sing music, but you're actually a producer as well.
Oh, yeah.
So what made you decide you wanted to go extra?
With the production?
Yeah.
It just came naturally, to be honest. I mean, when I started writing, and it just came natural. I really can't explain it. It's like, when you get on the keyboard and God made my mind to be able to just start doing beats. I did my first beat on a studio, and my homeboy Phil Duckett, shout out to Phil Duckett. I did my first beat at his studio on a Korg N364 keyboard that was belonged to my homeboy Andre McCullough.
Okay.
I'll never forget it. And when I started doing beats, it was Phil that actually said, "Boy, that sound all right, boy. That sound all right." So I just kept going with it, and so people started singing over my beats and rapping over my beats, and I just kept going from there.
Wow, wow. So you just pulled people in to go to your beats.
Yeah, and that plus other people were saying, "Hey, Rob, I can do some beats, whatever the case is," and then Phil was letting people hear some beats that I was doing.
Because right now on social media, because of COVID and everything that's going on, a lot of people are doing things in their home.
Right.
And I have some friends that, are in other states, and that's what they're doing. They're doing the beats.
Yeah.
And they're signing on, big time rappers that are actually rapping to their beats and stuff. So that's what I'm sitting here thinking. I'm like, wow, so with that,
how would I do that?
Yeah.
No. I mean, right now it's just everything just word of mouth. Like I do. People call and say, "Hey, I need a beat, I need a track," and I just do it. I don't, and that's pretty much how it's done. I'm not signing anybody on to me yet. Okay. Not yet.
Not yet. You speak it into existence,
that's right,
though. We got to speak that thing into existence. All right. So I love the fact, though, that you said your hometown is Greenville, South Carolina, but you traveled other places. Where are some other places that you've been?
Years ago, I lived in Long Island, New York.
Okay.
Lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Lived a little bit in California.
What part of California?
Tarzana.
Okay.
Yeah, Tarzana. And then Philly was North Philadelphia. Shout out to my homeboy Chuck Nice. I don't know if you remember 3 Times Dope, rap group from back in the day. But really looked out for me up there. And I did some work with some celebrities. Got a chance to do some work with some big people that made me feel pretty good. And some good experiences that I got up there that all wound up into today.
Okay, that's the key. You're saying you got some good experiences that wound up to today. See, you got yourself in the room, and the room worked for you. That's what my motto is. Get yourself in the room and let it work for you. Yeah. That's what you did.
That's what I did.
Yes.
That's what I did.
Awesome. Okay, well, you know what? It looks like you are doing great. It looks like you're singing, you're writing songs and everything, but you've got a story. And the whole purpose of Focusful with Robin, is for people to share their pit to purpose stories, to talk about where you come from and how you overcome your situations to get to where you are today. So we kind of want to tap into some of your struggles that you've had, because there's going to be people that are going to be watching this, and they need to be encouraged to know that if the Robbie Luca can come out of something, they can come out of it too, right?
Yeah. There was a time in life where I was depressed, going through stuff, in marriage and stuff like that. And I am divorced or whatever. Got a little 7-year-old son. Shout out to my son RJ. Love you, boy. And but you have your time in your life where you're depressed, and everybody handles depression differently.
Yes.
Some people, they wild out and do drugs. Some people drink. Some people, sex or whatever. Everybody handles it different. And so my choice was alcohol. I wild out with the alcohol, and it got me in a lot of trouble.
How old were you when you started doing that?
Oh man, I think I took my first drink probably in New York when I lived in New York.
So how old were you then?
I think I was like 24.
Bless your heart, because 24 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, that says a lot, because a lot of times, a lot of interviews I do, people have started their alcoholism when they were young as a kid. So
no, you thank my mom and daddy for that. They raised us right.
They raised you right. That's cool.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, raised us right. But yeah, I started. And so when I got crazy with that type of stuff, it got me in trouble. But God brought me out of that. I had to change my mind. I had to find a different thing to focus on, which wasn't, the problems that you're going through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
So what made you result into you were drinking, probably just wanted to get the flavor of it, the taste of it. Was it the people that you were hanging around? I mean, what was it that got your attention to even start alcohol? Because you said the first time that you took a sip was 24 years old.
Yeah, and that was in a fun environment. That was in a club, But, I guess once you get a taste of it and it makes you feel a certain way, you use it to escape your problems.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, you use it to escape your problems because you don't think about it no more. There's consequences because while you're not thinking about your problems no more, it makes you act a certain way.
Yes.
And so depending on where your mind state is, depending on what the alcohol is going to do, kind of. If you're a mad, upset person, the alcohol is just going to enhance you being upset. Some people are happy drunks. They're happy all the time. So when they drink, they're happy. But for me, I was depressed and I was trying to fill voids in my life and all.
So what kind of voids were you trying to fill?
Just family, just divorce and not having my son all the time like I wanted to, that I thought it was going to be in life. It was just a lot that's on your mind when you start going down those roads. So then everybody that tries to love you or tries to help you, sometimes the enemy can make you start thinking that it's not really help, that it's not really this and not really that. And so you start to lash out at people that really love you. And so I did a little bit of all of that. And so I'm pretty sure that I've burned some bridges and ruined some relationships. But glory to God that through all that I've been through all that I did, and just acknowledging.
That's the key. Acknowledging that there's a problem.
Well, acknowledging there's a problem, and then acknowledging that you're at fault, that you did some things wrong. You can't take it back, but you have to acknowledge it to yourself.
You own up to it. You don't cast the blame and say, well, this happened to me and woe is me, because that's what will keep you in a depressive state, and that's what will keep you in that victim mentality instead of that victor mentality, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important to, like what you said, to acknowledge it. So what was it that brought you to that acknowledgement to say, hey, you know what, I need to wake up. I need to get myself together. What was it?
Last time I got, stupid, drunk.
Yeah.
Wilding out. And when you wake up in the morning, I don't know if you ever got drunk before, but when you get drunk, sometimes you wake up in the morning, you don't remember what the world happened. But you know it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And so you get tired of that.
Okay.
And then I woke up one day and was like, this has to stop. At the end of the day, what God has in me is too great for me to keep self-sabotaging myself with alcohol.
Okay.
And then right after that is when I started working on Smile.
Tell us about Smile.
Smile is a song I wrote a long time ago. I was with a group called Changed, and I wrote the song for them, for that group. But here lately, it's just one of those songs that I felt like I needed to do again as a solo artist, because I felt like it meant something different to me now.
Okay.
So lyrics, Lord, I want you to be pleased with me, but I know I don't always do right. It's just a real conversation with God about where you are in your life. You're thanking Him for bringing you through, but you're also saying that you're making a commitment to making Him smile, to not making yourself smile and making other people smile and doing what pleases other people, but you're making a commitment that you want to do whatever it takes to please God in every aspect of your life. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So was that during was that during the depression state that you was writing that, or was that when you come out?
That was during a depressive state that I wrote that. I was depressed, and a lot of people didn't know it, because we learn to mask and learn to carry things around without everybody knowing. So yeah, that song came from a place of hurt and pain. So.
See, and that's the thing. God can take a bad situation. He can turn your pain into purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Your mess into a message. And so when you were in I love this, because you were in a broken state. So He even loved you so much, you were able to tap into your creative side and develop the song.
That's right.
So that's pretty astonishing.
Yeah, I mean, glory to God, because, you know, all the things that you go through in life, you my mom used to say, boy, it's a wonder you're not dead, because of the stuff that God has just brought me through.
Well, let's talk about it. What are give us some examples? Because the thing is, with my show, people know I'm all about transparency.
Sure.
And I want people to be real and raw and authentic, because I know my story. And, you know, I wore a mask for so many years, and I decided, you know what, I'm not wearing that mask anymore. And how I'm able to do that is I'm able to help other people uncover their mask and give them the platform to share their story so it can benefit and help other people. So tell us some things that you...
Well, you know, leaving out names, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Just leaving out names, of course. But, you know, you go through the things where you know, as a producer or whatever the case is, you deal with all type of stuff. You deal with people... backstabbing, you deal with people that don't appreciate your value, your worth. You deal with being lied on, being talked about. You deal with, and you don't. Do
you think that was a part of something that took you into a depression?
Yeah, because I wasn't a person that always felt like I needed for everybody to know my side of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you were very humble.
I tried to be. I wasn't.
And see, that can work for you, or it can work against you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a very humble person, but I finally had to come to a place to say, you know what, enough's enough. I got to take a stand.
Right.
And so, you know, but when you are very tender-hearted and you're very humble because you want to do what's right,
that's right,
and you don't want to cause any friction or any animosity with anybody, you just kind of like go with the flow.
That's right.
But then you miss the mark of what's for you and what your purpose is, because you're allowing these things to interject in your life.
It can build up. It builds up, and then, you know, at some point it's going to explode. So, I mean, you know, just toxic relationships. I mean, when you're trying to fill voids, you get yourself involved in, whether it be business or romantically or friendships or, you know, whatever. That you get yourself involved in relationships that are toxic.
Yes.
And that could be another thing that, you know, when God brings you through. Because some things happen in some of these relationships that, you know, good God, you know. You know, like,
yes, good God. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing where I'm just thankful to be here. I'm thankful that God has spared me to be. I can use my life as a testimony to help other people know that you can come out.
Yes, yes. So when you came out of your the depressing state and you stopped, you know, with the alcohol, what was it that said, hey, this is my wake up call? This is the moment that, you know, enough is enough. I'm not going to take it anymore, and I'm going to move forward.
Like I said, that night that I got drunk and wild out, and I said, I'm not.
And you didn't remember the next day.
I didn't remember the next day, but I knew it wasn't good.
Okay, so when you woke up
I woke up, I said to myself, and you feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you just feel bad. It's not that I had a hangover or anything like that, but I was just like, you know, you just feel bad inside, and I knew it wasn't good, and you just get tired of that over and over and over again. That stuff has landed me in jail. I've been to jail behind alcohol and being drunk. And
so what made you go to jail? What happened there?
Assault charges.
Wow.
I called the police on myself one time. I was so drunk.
Really? Was assault charges for a woman or a man?
No, the police officer was trying to calm me down, and so when he was saying calm down or whatever, I was knocking his hand away.
Yeah.
And so he charged me. They took me to the ground and charged me with assault on a police officer.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was drunk out of my mind.
You were so out of it. Oh my gosh. And at that time that didn't wake you up either.
No, you know, I went to jail and stayed in jail, I think, a day or something like that. You know, got out and just did it again. Yeah,
so it was all in the time, and for you to actually, with all these things that's happened, like you said, you went to jail and you got drunk and assault and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it took actually for the time when you said enough is enough. That's what it comes down to. Because things can happen to us in life, and we can cause havoc all the time, you know, day in and day out. But until we actually get it ourselves and have that literal wake-up call and say, okay, enough is enough. I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm ready. I'm tired of being at rock bottom. I'm tired of being, you know, distraught all the time and losing, so to speak, you know, and being depressed. And so you actually had to have that moment, and it happened to be when you were drunk.
Yeah. And
you woke up one morning. So what made that morning different?
That morning, you know, you just say enough is enough. I don't know what made it different, so to speak, but I went right to the studio and started working on Smile. And I said, this is the way that I'm going to get over this, through music. And I'm going to get in here and work on it and try to keep my mind on the things of God. Because God has just blessed me too much to be able, for me to keep doing this over and over again, keep repeating cycles.
Wow.
Because if I keep doing the same thing, I'm going to get the same result. So there wasn't no need of me keeping doing. I needed something different. I wanted something different. So I had to start doing something different.
So what are some of the things that you started doing different?
Well, you put down the alcohol, put down the bottle. You start praying more.
Okay.
Start praying more.
Because did you come from a spiritual home family?
I
so
did.
You knew your roots.
Oh, yeah.
You knew you were. It was grounded in you. That seed
yeah.
had been planted in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I came back to God, when I had pulled away, that was the thing. I had roots in me, and I'm thankful for that. But not everybody has that.
No, I was blessed.
Yes,
I was blessed to be able to have two parents that raised us up in the admonition of God. Like as the Bible says, train them up in the way they should go. So they did that.
So did you carry, Robbie, did you carry guilt on you, though? Did you carry guilt when you started, you said you started praying more and stuff. Did you go through that phase of the guilt?
Yeah.
And feeling like, well, God, why you want to give me another chance? And so, but what pulled you in to get your life restored with Christ?
Just the pull, the call. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all can run for only but so long before something happens to where it just changes your mind totally. And God does it subtly. He can do it subtly.
Yes.
People think, it's going to take a lot of time, or he ain't changed or whatever. I mean, God does things subtly. And so it didn't take me long because God, it's already in you. So once you access it, once you tap into it, then all you have to, God is going to roll. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to take long. You just have to make a decision that this is what you're going to do. And roll and start applying
and
what
let
you
it
already
roll.
know.
Roll.
You have to apply what you know. We all know the Bible. We all know this and that about God. But when you start applying these principles, that's when you're going to start seeing some real change. And not only that, other people will see it in you.
So you being in the music industry, in the gospel music industry today and stuff, there are a lot of people that are playing the fence, so to speak.
Right.
And such. And we see that. It's obvious. You can't hide it. It's out there because we know that that's life. People do that. So how do you balance it with keeping your faith grounded in God and knowing that you're not going to switch over to the other side?
To be honest, I stay to myself. And I pretty much focus on what God has for me. I talk to God and pray to God and just keep me strong, keep my mind and my thoughts pure.
Okay.
And I just do that type of thing. I'm always in conversation with God. I'm always self-evaluating. I'm always.
So you don't just pray at night before you go to bed?
No, I might be in there out here watching TV, eating and say a little prayer or something like that. Whatever.
We got to be in continuous prayer all day long.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
You got to be because and I live by myself, so it's like your mind sometimes when you alone. Sometimes you get the lonely feelings start hitting. You know what I'm saying? So. You always have to be in continuous prayer to keep your thoughts and keep your mind together.
Amen. So if people are watching, and they're going to be watching this on YouTube and the replay and such, what can you say to them to help them get out of their depressing state? They could be hiding, because I'm finding out there's a lot of men out there that they're battling depression, and they're leaders like you.
Right.
They're songwriters, musicians, they're even pastors, they're actors, and they're out there in the business world, but they're battling depression. They're dealing with these demons on the inside of them, and they're holding on to these baggages of whether it's alcoholism or pornography, or it could be drugs, whatever it could be, or multiple affairs with many women, or whatever it could be, and they're battling these situations. What is it that you can do to be an encouragement? I know you have your music, which is amazing, but if you could speak a word of encouragement to someone that could be listening, to know how they can focus forward to, to get out of this state and change their mindset, like you said you did.
Yeah, I would just say, just pray to God to change your mindset. We all deal with social things all the time. When I say that, I mean black men deal with a lot of social grievances all the time when it comes down to, some men don't feel like they should express themselves because that's what we've been taught as men, not to express. But you have to get it out. And if you can't get it out to a trusted friend, a trusted family member, get it out to God. When I started talking to God more, I started feeling myself more relieved because I got it off of me. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And that's what you have to do. You just have to get it off of yourself.
That's the thing. We hold it in and we don't speak it out. It's okay to talk out loud.
Right.
You know, it's okay to get it out and say, write it down. I always tell people to journal it. You know, write things down because, and I'm a big believer in writing down, write a letter to yourself, write a letter to God, write a letter to the person that hurt you. You know, you can even do that and not even have to give it to them, but write that letter is getting your emotions out in some form or fashion.
You got to get it out. Yeah. You know, because if you don't, it's going to build up, and build up. And it's just going to keep festering, and you're going to keep finding yourself in the same cycles again, dealing with the same type of issues again. Yes. No, but you got to get it off. You talk to God about it. I talk to myself all the time. I walk around here and talk to myself, and that's not nothing to be ashamed of.
That's right, brother.
That's just to say, you know, I reason with God, like not reason like I'm making negotiations, but God helps me to see things from many different perspectives instead of just my own perspective. Yes. And I think that's a lot where people go wrong too. They're only looking at things through their lens when there are so many different ways to look at one thing. So that's what I pray to God for wisdom and understanding. And
wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I pray for it all the time because that's what's going to be needed in order to focus forward, to stay focused forward, you know, and not do it for a month or two and then back in the.
Because you got to have that foundation, right? You got to be grounded. Yeah. And so you said that one of the things that you did, you get up and you pray, you talk to God. What are some other things that you do that helps you stay out of that depression mindset to keep going?
Music. You know, I got a studio. You know, thank God I got a studio in my home, so. When I wake up in the middle of the night or something, I can go right in the studio and get an idea out, or write, or just play some music and vibe to some music or whatever I want to do on that level. But that's what helps me because that's how I'm made.
Music resonates to the soul. Yeah. Everybody that follows me knows that I am a music lover. I love all types of music, but the beat of the music, the lyrics, you know, there's just something about that vibe that gives you that energy. So, like you were reading or speaking of Smile. Yeah. Those lyrics right there, that they're so beautiful. So. What's another song that you were saying that you had come out with recently?
Amazing.
So what's that about?
That's just a straight worship song to God. And just when you think about all the things that God has brought you or delivered you from, God don't have to deal with you. I mean, He don't have to keep dealing with you. Yes. I mean, and if you think about the fact that if somebody did you wrong, pretty much, you know, if they keep doing you wrong, you're going to stop dealing with them because I don't want that person to keep doing me wrong. But as many times as we do God wrong, God continues to deal with us. God continues to give us opportunities, chance after chance. Yes. And that's amazing. That's unconditional love. And He's just been a way maker, a burden bearer, a strong tower, everything I'm saying in that song. And so sometimes we just have to give God His just due. And that's what amazing is about.
Well, let me ask you this. Why would people want to connect with TherealRobbie Luca? Why would people want to connect with you?
People would want to connect with me because once they get to know me, you'll find out that I'm a transparent guy, but I'm a good guy. I don't mind saying what it is, and we're not gonna get deep. We're not gonna get deep into it, deep spiritually like that, because sometimes we can be too deep.
Come on, that's right.
And that's cool if that's your thing. But my thing is to be transparent. People need transparency these days. Yeah. They need to see people that love God and that live for God that have problems too. Yeah. Like you're human too, even though we all live for God.
Because that's what people are looking for. Because that's what the problem is with the world today. Yeah. They're wearing these masks. They're covering up, and they can't be transparent because they're intimidated by what somebody else is going to think about them.
That's right.
You know, oh, I'm a man. A man got to keep it together, or I'm a woman, and I've got to make sure I'm all put together. I'm all glamorous and all that. But no. People out there need to know our transparency.
They need to, and not be afraid to say what that is. Because I mean, it's just sometimes you're broken. Yes. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. Yes. Sometimes you're hurt. You know, sometimes people hurt your feelings. It's okay to say that. It's okay to voice that, and it's okay to be that way. You had a vice that you were dealing with. It's okay. You know, it's not going to ruin your image because who are you trying to please? You're trying to please people. Or you're trying to please God. I mean, God don't bring you through stuff to keep it to yourself. He brings you through stuff to share it with somebody else.
Come on.
That's going through the same thing. That's right. And so once you start getting a feel of this thing and realizing where God is taking you and where He's brought you from, none of that stuff matters anymore.
I love it. I love it. So are you available to talk to people and share your story?
I am available. I'm available to talk to people. I'm studio. I'm available to come and minister. I'm available to come and speak. I'm available to whatever. My manager's KL Management, Keith Lewis, sitting right over there. You can look him up on Facebook. I don't know the phone number straight off. I'll just keep looking back. I'm sorry. But anyway, or you can get with me on TherealRobbie Luca on Facebook and Robbie Luca Music on Instagram. Just hit me up, message me, let me know what you need, and we'll facilitate it so we can get you facilitated.
I love it. I love it that the fact is that you were 24 years before you even took a sip of alcohol. But alcohol is what took you to depression once you tapped into it. Because alcohol is not bad. In my opinion, it's not bad. It's what you let control you. So it's not, so that, and what happened was you festered into that and you let that take control of your emotions.
Well, yeah, once you start that stuff, like when I started, it was fun, so I didn't think it was. And I usually people say alcoholism. You're like, Dave, what's so bad about it when you first started? Because it ain't got to that level yet.
Yeah.
But once you start getting into situations and it starts depressing you, and you start feeling like, and then when you get by yourself and just keep drinking and drinking and drinking, and nobody's there to say stop, it can get crazy. It can get real crazy for you. So, and now let's talk about physically, just mentally. It'll mess with your mind real bad to the point where you become so toxic. Anything that you touch, any relationships you touch, anything you touch becomes toxic.
Yes, and I'm a firm believer is that you can let something define you, or you can define that situation or something. And back then, you didn't know how to handle that because, like you said, you were dealing with things by yourself, trying to cover these hurts and all these things up. So you were letting the situation of the alcohol define your identity, and that's what kept you. So alcoholism and identity was not mixing well because you wasn't letting who you were really win.
No, I wouldn't let that. I mean, to me, the alcohol was just a reliever for me. It relieved me, but then it got me. And so every time I drank, it was like, I know it's going to make me do this, but I didn't care because I wanted to feel, I wanted to be numb.
You want to be numb. You wanted to be numb.
Right. So, you never know what's
So if there's somebody out there that they're facing a demon of alcoholism or drugs or something else that's controlling their life, so we talked about how we can help people focus forward, getting out of depression. But if they have an addiction, basically it goes to the same thing. Get help, right? Talk to somebody.
Yeah, talk to somebody, get help, go to an AA meeting, do whatever you need to do.
Did you go to an AA meeting?
I went to one. I did go to one, and it helped me. And I didn't take it serious, though. It helped, but I didn't take it serious.
Okay.
And so that's why I say your mind has to be all the way committed to changing. All the way committed to changing and being ready to make the change. Because you can go to 18,000 AA meetings and go to how many of this and that and the thirds. But if your mind is not committed to change or not ready to change, or you haven't changed your mind, it's not going to help you.
Wow.
And that's just the bottom line. I mean, I know it's a great thing to do, to call this hotline, to call that hotline. But if your mind is not committed to change, if you're not ready to really apply to help you.
What does Michael Jackson say? Start with the man in the mirror. I'm going to change my ways. So that song, I listen to that song and it's so powerful to me, but it's so true because we've got to start with ourselves.
That's right.
We can't look at somebody else to be our rescuer.
That's right.
We got to get to a point when we get to that pit situation and we're like, we have nowhere to go but look up. Okay, I'm going to start with the man in the mirror. I'm going to start with my own self, and I'm going to look to the hills to where my help comes from,
That's
right?
That's right.
All right. I'm about preaching just a minute. I'm not a preacher, but I love my Lord Jesus, and I will testify always and give him glory and praise because I know my story, and I know what I've come out of, and that's the whole point of me even doing the Focus Forward Robin show and on the go, Focus Forward Robin on the go, is because I want people like you to be able to come out, share your message of hope, to know that if you're battling these things in secret and there's people that need help to know how they can get out of that and they can have a purposeful life just as yourself. I mean, you got such a gift and such a talent, and look, you almost allowed that to destroy you.
I did. I almost destroyed myself. I mean, it's easy for us to, when you're in a certain way, you start placing blame. And and it's hard to place that blame on yourself, even though you know inside it's your fault. But you know, we place blame on other people.
And then too, like if you got a mama or you have a good friend or somebody or spouse or whatever, and they're sitting here telling you, and they're giving you insight, and they care about you, and they love you, and they're giving you some wisdom, and saying, "Hey, let's get yourself together." Because I'm one that I don't pity anybody,
right.
And so I'm saying, let's get this thing together. You want to rebel to that because you know in your heart that you're at fault, but you're like, I'm not going to listen to somebody else telling me. So you got to be the one to really make that decision.
It's easy to do the wrong thing. It's harder to work to get right, and that's what people don't want. They don't want. They don't want that work that it takes to get back right.
Yes.
Let's just stay comfortable in the mess.
Yeah.
Let's stay comfortable in our mess.
But just think, though, if you learn to let go and let God, think about the breakthrough that comes through all that.
I mean,
what has happened to you since you decided to rise up out of that pit?
I mean, ever since I released Smile and said to myself, that's it, I'm not going back. I received so many phone calls, just Smile alone, just so many phone calls and messages, and I thank people for that, for letting me know how much Smile has touched your life, how much Smile meant to you and everything like that. And it's like I'm on 96.9. Shout out to Stanley Toole from 96.9 and Pastor Lenny Gaines. Got my song on the radio, and I just sent it in, and all of a sudden I'm in rotation.
Look at God.
I mean, it's interviews like this right here, people calling and saying, "Hey, let's do an interview," and it's just God is moving things. But I had to get out my own way.
I read your Facebook post that said that, and I was like, yes, that's what it's about. We have to get out of our own way.
You gotta get out your own way.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because this long is like, dang, I've been in my own way all this time. And so now I'm out my way for God to move. And so my mama used to always tell us, you do your best and let God do the rest. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do my level best to stay grounded, to stay humble, and stay doing the things of God and just let God do the rest.
I love it. I love it. I'm always saying, stay on the pathway of His presence. And as long as you're staying on the pathway of God's presence, then there's no boundaries. No. There's no limits to where He's going to take you.
No, not at all.
Keep Him centered in your life.
That's right.
I love it, Robbie. Right. This has been such an amazing interview. I'm so excited. It's been so fun.
I love it,
Yes. Okay, so tell us again how people can get in touch with you and connect with you to come either speak or either do some work or, to come perform.
Okay, you can get in touch with me on Facebook, TherealRobbie Luca, ROBBIE LUCA. Get in touch with me on Instagram through Robbie Luca Music, or you can contact KL Management, or on Facebook it's Keith Lewers, LEWERS. That's it.
I love it. Well, shout out to Keith Lewers with KL Management. He is the bomb diggity dig. Let me tell you, he's the one who linked us up today to get this exclusive interview to talk about your pit to purpose story and how far you come and your background. I'm always looking for people to interview and talk to them about their roots of where they come from. And then sometimes things don't land the way we want them to, but then we have to figure out what's best for our life, and then we have to rise up and catch what's for us, and then live a purposeful life. That's exactly what you're doing today. Right. I love it. I love it. I love it, guys. Listen, this is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward, Robin on the Go. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina with the Robbie Luca, and we are sitting here talking about his pit to purpose story, talking about his music that he has written, he produced himself, called Smile and Amazing. Y'all need to go follow him. Do you have your music on any other things besides the radio station?
No, it's on all platforms. On any way you can buy digital music, Smile is out there. As Amazing is not out there, not yet. And I will say this: if you want Amazing, if you want that song and like that song, inbox an email address, and I'll send it to you for free. You don't have to pay for it. I just want to be a blessing to people. So if you like Amazing,
send it to me, and I'll forward it to a lot of people. I'll forward it to people.
Send your email. Send an email address.
Send it to Keith's email too.
And,
Keith, put your email in the comments.
and we'll make sure you get a copy of that song.
Absolutely, absolutely, guys. This has been an amazing day, amazing evening. I'm so excited to be here. Look at the background. Is this not gorgeous? I love this. This portrait. This is such a wonderful setting. I'm so glad to have met you.
You're the same.
And I just wish you much success in all your endeavors. And I'm thankful that God has restored you to wholeness.
Yes,
so you can utilize your gifts even more than what you were using them before.
Thank you very much. I say the same to you.
Thank you, sir.
I thank God for you and using your platform for something positive.
Thank you.
And allowing other people to tell their story to help other people.
Amen.
It's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward, Robin on the Go. You never know where I'm going to be. Remember, if you think a thing, you will believe a thing. If you believe a thing, you're going to achieve it, just like the Robbie Luca is doing here today. Y'all be blessed. Bye.